Hey everybody, Sandhill Shooter here. I wanted to make this video real quick, and just so you guys know, I'm not a big channel. I don't have professional editing software, and this video just kind of came off the cuff. I'm not prepared for it. I don't have my thoughts written down, any notes or anything like that. So I'm just going to wing it, and hopefully this makes sense to at least a couple of the people that end up seeing it. So here's what's going on. I've got a post that I had, a meme that I had shared or reposted here a couple days ago, or maybe earlier today, on Facebook. And let me read this to you real quick. I can kind of tell you what this says, because it's kind of started a conversation between a couple people that read it on my Facebook page, and I'll get into that here in a second. But first and foremost, here's what it is. It's a meme, and it's in two parts here. The first thing says, you will never end abortion, you will only end safe abortions, hashtag I'm just saying. And the bottom half of the meme is basically a comment or a response to that, and somebody clipped it and put it together into one meme here. Somebody else had commented on that and said, you will never end gun ownership, you will only end legal gun ownership, just saying. And I posted this, and when I shared it, I said, sadly, both are true, because they are, and I find it unfortunate that both of those things are true. Now, a couple friends, and I'm not going to name them, read this, and first of all, I want to congratulate the people that are having the conversation in the comments on that meme, because they're not arguing, they're not even really disagreeing. I think they're actually agreeing with each other. They're just looking at things from different angles. One is male, one is female. The female friend of mine recently lost a pregnancy, and it was a terrible thing to have to see her go through on Facebook. So my heart goes out to anybody that's been in that situation. But there's a couple things that people are talking about as far as the abortion aspect, and of course, nobody can have all the answers, and I don't claim to have all the answers. I don't claim to have really any answers, but I do claim to have feelings and opinions, and those of you that know me or have heard me on different internet chats, you know that I'm opinionated, and you know that I can get kind of riled up sometimes. In fact, probably the only way to get me riled up faster than to talk about gun confiscation or gun laws or gun control, the only way to get me riled up faster than that is to talk about abortion. Because as a gun owner, I don't want to see freedoms dribbled away, any freedom, not just about guns. But when you talk about abortion, now that I take personally. Now, obviously, I wasn't aborted. I wasn't born after a failed attempt or anything like that. But not a lot of people know this about me, and it's no secret. But I'm adopted. So I wasn't born into my family. I got here as quick as I could. And I was actually born on the Air Force Base in Omaha, off Air Force Base. And I don't know a lot of info. I know that as an infant, I was given up right away. I was adopted by a great family, the only parents I've ever needed. I've never found my biological parents. Don't really care if I ever do, just because I never wanted for a family. I had a mom and a dad. And like I said, they're the best family I could have ever possibly been put in. I feel like I was handpicked by God to be part of this family, where all my cousins and the rest of the family, they were biologically part of it. They're stuck no matter what. So I feel kind of special. But when we talk about abortion, here's the thing. I could have just as easily been an abortion instead of an adoption. My biological mother, when she got pregnant, she had a couple choices. Now, the way I understand it, she was enlisted, and my biological father was an officer. And the way I understand it, never having served in the armed forces, that, they tell me, is a no-no. And officers and enlisted personnel don't mix, don't have sexual relations. And so, of course, I was proof that happened. And so the biological father, the officer, apparently transferred away from Offutt. and it was that or be court-martialed, and so he left. And my biological mother didn't want to raise a child alone and not still serve in the Air Force. And so she was left with a couple options. She could have, of course, killed me. I was born after Roe versus Wade. So abortion was legal in 1979 when I was born. I could have not been born. And I thank God that she didn't pick that. Now, she could have said, this is my kid, and you know what? I might not be able to give it the best life in the world, but it's my kid. I'm not giving it up, no matter what happens. And she didn't do that either. So I think she made, honestly, I think she made the hardest decision of all, because she carried me full term. She was pregnant for 9 months. She went through all the pain of labor and delivery. And then, I don't know if she saw me or not, but she said, I don't know what's going to happen to this kid, but I know that somebody else could raise, I'm going to say him just because I don't know if she knew if I was a him or not. But she said somebody else might raise him and give him the home that I can't. And so she chose that for me, and I thank God for her choice. Even if I never get to meet her face to face, I'm very happy. Excuse me. I'm very happy that she made that decision, and I got to have a real family and a real home growing up. And so, whenever I hear about abortion, yeah, I take it personal, because that could have been me. And I was one person's decision away from that being me. So, I don't have all the answers, but I do believe, as a Christian, I believe that life begins at conception. That one cell, or maybe it's divided once or twice, 2 cells, 4 cells. Yeah, there's no arms, legs, fingers, toes, but that's got human DNA in it. That's a baby. And so I just can't see why anybody could possibly say it's not breathing air, or it doesn't have, all of its features, and so that makes it okay to kill it. I know people that have lost pregnancies, and whether it's a couple weeks in, or a couple months in, or full term, and something bad happened, those people are devastated. And I cannot wrap my head or my heart around what that must feel like. I can't imagine. As a man, I can't imagine what it must be like to carry a baby, no matter what happens, and raise a healthy one or not. I don't know what that's like, and of course I never will. So I don't pretend to know what to tell people about what should happen in a woman's body, what shouldn't. But I do know this. I believe that that's a baby, and I believe it should be illegal to kill him. And then the other aspect I look at is, okay, sometimes there are medical issues. Sometimes a woman was raped and got pregnant and doesn't want that reminder. And unfortunately, I've met more than one person, way too many women who have been through that terrible experience. And again, I don't pretend to know what that's like. I don't know. I never could know. But I can't imagine the people that I know, that I'm close to, that have been through that experience, they haven't forgotten. They didn't get pregnant, but they haven't forgotten. So I don't see why people are saying, well, that's a reminder for 9 months. No, that's a reminder for the rest of your life, the way I understand it. So I don't know that I agree that that's grounds to kill a baby. Now, if the mother's life is in danger and aborting the fetus is the only way to save the mother, again, I'm not going to speak on what should be legal or what's moral. I know how I feel. And I'm going to tell you because, well, guess what? My video, my opinions. And I know that not everybody that sees this is going to agree, and that's okay. You don't have to. And I hope that we're still friends afterwards. But my philosophy is, if I were a parent, and I'm not, guys, I don't have any kids of my own. I'm not a parent, but knowing what I know about me, and if me being sick endangered the life of my child, but there's a chance, even as a Christian, I cannot sit here and tell you that I think that I would choose myself over my child. And God help me, I hope I never have to be in that position. And if I'm ever in that position, I hope that I can stick to what I feel are my morals. But I just can't see the people that I know who are good parents choosing themselves over their child. Now, if it's a case where we take a risk and we might lose everybody, I guess I don't think I could live with myself if it meant that I had to kill an unborn child to do it. And I know how my wife feels. We've talked about this. One of the reasons that I got married to this woman, besides all the reasons, there's bajillions of them, and she's awesome, but we feel the same about this. And I told her point blank one day, I said, if I thought you were the type of person who would kill my baby or my unborn child to save your own skin, I would have never married you. Now, I know that's not popular with a lot of people, and I know you're not all going to agree with that sentiment. And that's okay, because my wife and I agree with it, and we're the ones that are married to each other, so that's all that matters as far as that part goes. But I've got all these feelings, and rather than comment on the thread on Facebook, I just wanted to get these feelings out, and I wanted to make this video real quick so that I could get that done before I forget what I was thinking and put all these thoughts down. So I know I've kind of rambled a little bit. I want to leave with one last thought. I'm not exactly sure why this is, but the more I think about it, the more I see, the more I hear, the more I'm convinced that the same people who are telling me, or telling, not me personally always, but telling everyone to stay out of their body, and they have a choice, they have the right to choose, and they can do what they want with their body. Okay, I can't argue. I can't. Now, I am concerned with the other body that lives inside their body. I think that should have its own rights, and it should be illegal to kill it on purpose. But, again, that's my opinion. It's not the law. But here's the thing. The people that are saying that they have a right to choose, a lot of those same people, not all of you, not all of them, but a lot of those people, they want to turn around and tell me as a gun owner that I don't have the right to choose what to do with my body or my wife's body as far as how to defend ourselves. And I'm not always worried about myself. I said that before in a video, a speech that I didn't get to give in Lincoln this last weekend. I put it in a video. It's not even about me, but what about my wife? She is, she's alone a lot of the time. She drives to work in a different town. And there are times, you know, if she has car trouble, she would be alongside of the road. I wouldn't be there. She's alone. She deserves the right to defend herself from anything bad ever happening to her. And as we've talked about earlier in this video, sometimes bad people do bad things to other people. And I think that my wife has the right to choose not only what to do with her body, because she's married, and she and I would make that decision together, but she deserves the right to choose how she defends that body and how she defends herself, or how I would defend herself if I was with her. And so it really bothers me, not only that people are willing to kill babies, because that's what abortion is. It's killing a baby. And I'll argue with anybody who disagrees. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me, and I'm not going to change your mind, but you'll never change mine. It's killing a baby. But people want to kill babies, and then they want to tell me that we don't deserve to live either. I just think that they're wrong on both counts. Babies deserve to live. My wife and I deserve to defend our lives too. So, like I said, I know I kind of rambled. I kind of threw a couple different topics together here, but that's why I'm so against abortion. I know that some of you might agree. I know that some of you might not. Like I said before, I hope you can watch this, and knowing how I feel, I hope that if you don't agree, we still can be friends. God bless y'all. Thanks for listening to me ramble.